All right, we're live. This is Senate Health and Welfare. We're back. And today is Three Squares of Vermont Awareness Day. And we have three folks in to talk about Three Squares. And our time is limited, so I'm going to be careful.
If I see the hand, I will stop.
You've got it. Thank you. And thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Okay.
So my name is Julia Burgess, and I'm a non-licensed mental health counselor in Barre, Vermont. And I'm also a person who lives with chronic health conditions like fibromyalgia. Today, I'm here to share my experience and ask you to fund necessary administration costs to operate Three Squares Vermont in our state with an additional $6.3 million for state fiscal year 2027 to counter federal funding changes. Full funding of Three Squares administration is critical to keep this program available for all who are eligible in Vermont. So here's my story quickly. While I completed my master's degree in clinical mental health, I worked full-time in a role where I assisted individuals in obtaining vital supports like the Three Squares program.
Congratulations. That's not an easy degree.
Yes, thank you. The transition from a full-time pay to pay for therapeutic services has been tricky and difficult. So I went from receiving a regular biweekly paycheck to being paid one time a month. Further, I had to build a caseload of clients, which has taken some time. I'm not where I need to be financially yet, but things are looking better in the near future. I began my work full-time as a therapist in June of 2025. I did not receive a livable paycheck until almost October. I ended up having to max out my credit cards and use the money I had in order to pay my bills with little left over for food or medications. This is a problem that faces many Vermonters and many Americans. That's when I applied to this Three Squares program and was approved. I'm not sure I have the words to express how important this program has been to ensuring that I have healthy food options in order to maintain my physical health and be able to be present for my clients. As a mental health professional, I understand the importance of proper nutrition and the connection to positive mental health outcomes. It is also highly linked to positive chronic health management. Without the Three Squares program, I would either gone without food, or I would have been eating things that were not suitable for my chronic health conditions or my own mental health, thus again making it difficult to support my clients. Instead, and because of the Three Squares program, I was able to provide myself with healthy, nutritious food options that I would not have been able to afford without the help of this valuable program. While I'm still needing the support of this program, I expect to be able to receive a fully livable wage within the next few months. I think it's important to note that despite what many people believe, this program is here for people like me. The people who are trying to make their lives and their communities better, and the people who just need a little bit of help to reach their goals. Please remember that we paid for this program through our tax dollars, and it is a program that we all may need to rely on at times in our lives. I'm very grateful it was there when I needed it. I appreciate your time, and I hope that you will recommend that the legislature funds necessary administration costs to operate Three Squares Vermont in our state with an additional $6.3 million in the state fiscal year 2027 budget to counter federal funding changes. I will leave it at that.
Thank you. Thank you for leaving it that, but you're also knowing that we're a bit of a ways from our budget recommendations, but this will be on the list, I'm sure.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right.
It's my turn.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Nice to meet you. My name is Mariana Sears. I live in Essex Junction and I work for Hunger Free Vermont. This is my first time doing this, so I appreciate your patience. I am here to ask you that you support 3 requests for this fiscal year 2027. The first request is that you support the full amount to counter federal funding changes to the Three Squares Vermont administration, alongside the Vermont Food Bank request for $5 million and Norfolk Vermont request for $500,000. Those requests are to support programs like ProCash, Farm Share, and to support the network of partners and programs like Vermonters Feeding Vermonters. I include the 3 requests because together and combined, they are like pieces of a puzzle, they ensure that we continue on the road to food security, which is a fancy term for having the food we all want and need, just in case. I'm pretty sure that if you're in welfare, you know what it means, but just to make sure that it is as simple as just eating the food that we like and want. Funding all these food programs is key because they complement each other and they ensure that people have that food that they need. In my role for Hungry Few Vermont, I've been leading a pilot project called the Food Navigators. This program brings information about 3 Squares Vermont and other food programs and resources to communities of immigrants and refugees in their own language and by their own people. So the Food Navigators are members of their own communities and they bring information in their own language. Combine the 5 of them. They're amazing people. They wanted to be here today, but they're working and they're engaging in their communities. They couldn't make it today. They speak 9 languages, including English, Spanish, Arabic, French, May, Somali, Swahili, Pashto, and Dari. Those are all communities of people living in Vermont. All these folks, including the Food Navigators, engage in their communities. They attend places of worship, schools. They go shopping in their villages and towns. They are engaged. The Food Navigators talk to relatives, neighbors, friends, clients. Some of them are interpreters, so they are talking to clients every day in their work interpreting. They hear feedback too from these community members, and I'm here to share that feedback on their behalf. Back in the fall, these communities face a great deal of uncertainty, and you probably imagine around 3 Squares Vermont changes and also from the government shutdown. It was a fast moving and challenging landscape, and the state had to roll out changes quickly, and information was evolving real quick in real time. And we do appreciate all of the state stepping up when the benefits were not there from the federal government for many of the participants. But when the state worked to respond under difficult circumstances, people enrolled in the program often experience unclear or conflicting notices. And the long wait times for help was making the situation for them very stressful, and that stress turned into anxiety very quickly. Families depending on these benefits to supplement their food budgets all of a sudden felt very insecure and fear. As an immigrant or myself, I can tell you that it is very difficult to navigate just a simple supermarket when you are just fine and when nothing is going on. Just choosing your cheese or your cereals, it is like going to a master's degree program for me. And I can't imagine what these families had to go through when on top of that regular uncertainty as an immigrant or someone that is navigating a new culture, on top of that, you didn't know what is if your paycheck, if your supplements were coming, if your benefits were coming through. So the navigators were telling us all about that, and we are bringing this to you. So kind of like bringing these family members a little closer to you. They also told us about the language and cultural barriers they faced when they had to visit local food shelves because people don't necessarily speak their language, and understandably, they're volunteers, they're community members. But they had to because this was the only way for them not to go hungry. They didn't have their benefits, their support was going down, they needed to go to the food shelf. Combined with the high prices for food and other basic necessities, communities of immigrants in Vermont were and are clearly experiencing severe food insecurity. That is not us. With knowledge and willingness, navigators supported individuals and families and brought them closer to solutions, to the available programs and resources that we are asking you today please to fund, because otherwise these people will be left with no support. Navigators had accompanied first-timers to look at food pantries. They taking people to farmers markets. We've been there with them. They teach people how to use crop cash, how to use the EBT card, how to choose your vegetables. They have sat down to sort out rules. The rules are complicated. You need more than a master's degree. You need a PhD to sort out rules. It is complicated. They've also attended events to interpret and distribute food and share relevant information so people that need information can access it in the best way for them in their own languages. And of course, they have taken first steps to fill out applications and make phone calls so that Three Squares Vermont can get closer to those, and programs like FarmShare get closer to those with them. These programs are providing immigrants, communities access to the food so they can live a healthy and meaningful life. Well-fed people, this is pretty obvious, but it is good to just say it. Well-fed people are going to go to work, are going to go to shop, are going to have fun in their communities. They're going to send the kids to school with a smile. And yeah, participating in our economy. We have a beautiful state, a beautiful land. We call Vermont.
I am going to say, we have one more person to go and we have 2 minutes.
Perfect.
So
And I know my last sentence, so thank you
I thought
for that
so.
reminder.
Good.
So yes, so we can all together make sure that these people continue to receive the food they need, they want to. So we urge you to please fund the request for Norfolk Vermont, for the Vermont Food Bank, and the money to counter federal funding changes to the First Person Vermont administration.
Thank you.
And that's all for me. Unless you have
Thank you for your
questions.
work during the fall when all this was going on. It was a fun time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there someone else? Oh, we have one more person.
I think it was me.
It
but-
was you.
Yeah, Honor Ward from Hunger Free Vermont, but I'm good. Unless you all have questions that I can help you with.
I think we're good. And as I said before, this is really important testimony for, as we get into our budget decisions here, the policy related budget decisions that go down the hall. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your work. Very good. Thank you all for being here today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so
much.
Thank you for your work.
time.
All right, take care.
Yeah.
Good. That's a wrap for today. We're gonna go off.